Alright, I'm back, y'all, and welcome to another video. Now, in honor of the Black Panther Party and commemoration of the legacy, the City of Oakland decided to give Chairman Bobby Seale, former Chairman Bobby Seale, his own street name. So right on for that. So 57th and Martin Luther King, formerly known as Grove Street, has been renamed 57th and Bobby Seale Way. So that's what's up. Now let's break it down. Alright, well, for one, that was long overdue. I mean, I can't overemphasize how hard the Black Panther Party put it down, and still putting it down, quiet as it's kept, for black people and all people over the world. So let's get that out the way. And it's actually good that the city is pretty much preserving the legacy. That's very important. Just like you got all them people yelling about them Confederate statues. No, we need our own, and not just entertainment figures. And it's no slight on them, but we actually need, and this is for the new blood, the up and coming, especially when people ain't passing the ball or teaching like they should be. But I ain't gonna get into that. So at least when a child or anybody see that name, well, who is that? They can go look it up. Or when they see a statue, they can go look it up. Or when even a school or anything. And that's the whole purpose of things, buildings, and places, people's places and things being named after people, places, and things, and events. That's the whole purpose of keeping a legacy going. Now, in the case of the Panthers, because unfortunately the battle is not won, meaning we still dealing with oppression, it's not, how should I put it, although we are commemorating and immortalizing, we not closing the lid. Now, hopefully one day, because basically the Black Panther Party existed and exists because of racism and oppression and hate. So we do away with all that, then it'd be no need for the Black Panthers. So that's pretty much where I'm getting at. But the event itself was damn good. We had a lot of prominent speakers, some council people, Mr. Fab, a lot of local other prominent people, VIPs, people that you wouldn't even know that look like you, that's in certain professions. So it was also an opportunity for you to build, not necessarily a who's who or a network convention, but it was something a lot more meaningful and powerful than that. And another thing I observed that I thought was funny was that, of course, you've seen a lot of older people, but a lot of people that you wouldn't even think would be interested in the party. Meaning you had a lot of people, that's the thing, you never judge a book by its cover. You know, the party had plenty of supporters, as is known. You know, and you had people that was there, and you even had people who was neutral, but at the same time, they remember. They knew how hard the party put it down, and they was there to give props. So that says a lot. If you ask me, that say a lot. But definitely Bobby Seale, Chairman Bobby Seale, deserve his props, his flowers, or what have you. You know, right there on 5-7, right where he lived. See, because back then, and I mentioned this before, this is where most of the black people lived, in West and North Oakland back then, and he stayed right there on 5-7, right across from Merritt College, which got turned into the old tech, and I made a video about that. But Bobby stayed right there, and that was actually the location where they drafted the 10-point platform. It was right there at that house. And another, see, a good movie to watch, a good Black Panther 101 movie to watch is Melvin Van Peebles' movie Panther. Because that movie starts off and it lets you know about the accident right there on 5-5 in Market. Bobby stayed right there on 5-7. And it's funny because now, of course, gentrification or whatever, you wouldn't even believe that was mainly black, all up and down them blocks. And as a little boy, I remember the last end, but I remember seeing it. And I ain't talking about in the 70s, but anyway, Bobby Seale pushing the line to go to Richmond, check on that police unaliving Denzel Dow out there in Richmond. And all that is in the movie, of course, but definitely see that movie 101 because, as I mentioned earlier, as long as there's racism and hate and oppression, there's going to be Black Panthers, Black Pantherism. I caught wind now that they sending scores of immigration agents to the Bay Area. And if you ask me, they're probably going to be investigating more than just immigration for whatever reason. And I can hear some people now like, yeah, get rid of these criminals and gangs. And don't get me wrong, I don't like crime too. Don't nobody want their car getting broken too. Don't nobody want to get robbed. Don't nobody definitely don't want to get unalived. You understand? I get all that. Don't nobody like being no victims of crime. But it usually just starts with the criminals. But then, it's like you give them an inch and they take a mile. And the next thing you know, you won't be able to walk outside, or when you go to work or BART, you're going to have to show that new ID. You understand? It's going to be checkpoints. Or whatever. Maybe I watch a lot of TV, but the point is, you give them an inch, they're going to take a mile. We just recently had this very suspicious unaliving of former NFL player Doug Martin. He ends up dead in police custody. Now, I know not all the information is being released, but it's a for real head scratcher. Being that I believe it was him who called the police himself to report a break-in. But point is just, as we know, too many people of color that's being on the losing end. I'm not even the losing end, because when you lose your life, that's the end. This is not a game. But you get what I'm trying to say, man. And that's the purpose of the Panthers, man. And they gave Bobby Seale his props, and the city need to. Which is, it's funny because, and this is just me, because although prior, us, the people, the community in Oakland was already pushing the city to give the Panthers his props, but the city also saw a benefit in it as well, being that, for one, history is history. Like I mentioned, people that was there that was neutral, but it's part of history, whether you like it or love it or don't like it at all, it's history, and it's meaningful, impactful history at that. But as politics today, when you got the whole left, right, anti-Trump, right, left, this and that, I feel that, hey, this in the city's interest that, oh man, we're going to turn up the dial, because we know what the party represented. And the party was anti-oppression, anti-fascism, anti-all that, anti-hate, anti-all that. And when it comes to politics, I don't pick one side or the other, but we do know Trump is the boogeyman, whether you agree with it or not. You understand? So he's the representative, and he trying to lean hard on certain cities that ain't rolling with him. And hey, a city like us, well, we got some ether for y'all. But I'm gonna leave that alone though. But I just pretty much, I'm glad. You understand? Kudos to the city, man, and definitely it just don't starts with or ends with a street name and a holiday, as was mentioned at the event. Of course. So, but this keeps it intact. This keeps not only the local culture intact, but it keeps everybody else intact when, I'm going to say, the goings gets tough when it comes to dealing with Uncle Sam and people don't know what to do. You see, we hearing they cutting they cutting the food stamps, in the party. Hell, we gave birth to all that. The government created that to try to counter what the party was doing. The free programs and all that. So that's really the main focus, so as more of these government programs get cut, you may be forced to come together. But let it be on our own circumstances and not being forced to. But I don't want to keep rambling on, y'all, man. All power to the people. We gonna keep it lit, man.